Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my Pick a Card video. Today we're asking the question, what is going on between us? So this can be any relationship in your life. I'm expecting that for most of you it's sort of your boyfriend or your girlfriend, but if you're thinking what's going on between you and a work colleague, a friend, your parents, and you're just confused by the situation, the reading still stands and will count for you. You'll just have to remove any inappropriate elements in the reading that definitely don't apply to your relationship with your person of interest. So yeah, remember it's a general reading, that not every aspect of it's going to resonate. So you just have to take what makes sense to you, what the advice that you feel that you can follow, and leave the rest aside. So we have options 1, 2 and 3. The timestamps will be in the comment section and in the description box. In the description box will be all of the details that you need to book a private reading with me, and all of the links for the decks that I'm using in this video. So, focus on what's been going on between you and your person of interest. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, relax, clear your mind, and really then start thinking about your connection with this person and what's been going on. When you've done that and you feel ready, make your choice. Trust your first instincts. Don't doubt yourself, don't overthink it. Just make a gut instinct choice. If you need a little bit more time to do that, then please press pause, because I'm now going to be moving on to the readings. Okay, those of you that chose option 1, here is your reading. So these 3 cards represent what's dominating the relationship that you have. The energies, the attitudes, the actions taken by you or the other person, or a mixture of the two. It doesn't matter, take what resonates. But this is really what's dominating the relationship at this time of you watching this reading. So we have Death, Santa Muerte, the Fool, and the Four of Wands. Okay, so I think what's going on actually might not necessarily be very negative. It might be actually quite positive, quite positive progression for you two. I'm going to take this as a romantic relationship first, because I feel that generally that's what the main interest will be. But there's a change, a transformation, a natural death of something that's gone before, and a progression into the new cycle, and I feel of a romantic relationship. That there's a new journey beginning, in a new movement in towards hope, and no fear of failure, that it's exciting, you're light-hearted, it's wonderful. And we've got the Four of Wands, which is the marriage card, the foundation of life card, the family ceremonies card. So for some of you, what's dominating this relationship are thoughts of marriage. That you're ready to change the relationship and move it up into one where you settle down with this person. Whether that's causing tension because the other person doesn't want to settle down and get married, maybe if there are problems, that might be the issue. That in fact, although one of you might be thinking, yeah, this is it, this is the one, or at least I'm ready now in this phase of my life and I like you and I don't mind spending my life with you. That, you know, there aren't any fears of failure, there aren't any fears of things going wrong, that you're not going to listen necessarily to any sort of words of warning, and that there's going to be movement towards trying to commit really and settle down, the establishment of a foundation. If this isn't really about marriage and you're sort of like, no, it's about solidifying the relationship into a great one with greater commitment. So instead of just casually dating, being a bit more exclusive, as they say in America, you know, not being open to other people, but going on a journey with just one person. It is very much more commitment growing up and maturing, and as I say, family celebrations. So I think for some of you, the relationship is just changing and maturing. For some of you, yes, into a potential marriage if everything carries on going well. But for some of you, it's just about thinking that maybe you'd like to make it a bit more serious. Not as far as an engagement or a wedding, but just making it a bit more committed. If this isn't a romantic relationship, it's not too dissimilar. There's a deeper commitment, I think. A willingness to change the relationship in order to allow it to mature and deepen and grow. So letting go what's been before. So if it's work, that maybe you've got a new colleague to work with, and they're a senior colleague, and you've just passed from one grade to a new grade, and that's it. That's the transformation into something new, where there's a new journey, you're excited, it's all wonderful, you're light-hearted, and it's going to be deepening and establishing a greater foundation in terms of your career. And the same with any kind of relationship, really. It's just changing and developing and maturing. So that's actually not bad. What's dominating this relationship, what's going on between you, is things are maturing and changing, and you're letting go of old things. So old arguments are being let go of, and you're making way for whole new ones. So I only wanted 3, but 4 came out. In which direction is this relationship heading? If you carry on, if you don't change anything, or if this sounds wonderful, and then this sounds wonderful, you might say, right, I'm going to carry on the way I'm going to try and ensure this happens. If these are horrible cards and you don't like it, then you can take action to avoid it, because remember, there's all potential change everywhere. So we have the 6 of Swords, so yeah, a moving on, a progression. 5 of Wands, bit of competition, bit of tussle. Page of Wands, a new adventure. 10 of Cups, oh. I think this is good. We've got moving on, 6 of Swords, it's usually the man on the boat, sailing off with a wife and child, moving on to pastures new, mentally leaving something behind and moving into a new mindset. And that's the Death card as well. Something's changing, and I think the relationship will continue to change and progress into something different to what it is now. You might already have signs of it, hence you looking at a video saying what's going on between us. The relationship's changing, maybe for one person more than the other, but it doesn't mean that the journey can't be taken by 2. But something's progressing and changing in this relationship, and the old is being left behind. It's not always going to be easy. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be tussles, competition. You got to find your way through a big maze of foxes and hares. Seriously. Excuse me, it's going to be different. If you are sort of at the point where you think this is somebody you'd like to set up home with, for example, there's 2 different people with 2 different experiences of home, and you're going to have different opinions on how to squeeze the toothpaste tube and which way to put the toilet roll on the holder. It's there are different ways of doing things, and you're going to clash and meet. But it doesn't mean that it's an aggressive win at all costs tussle. It means that there's just going to be a bit of interest and tension. And if it is a case of booking a wedding, it will be one of the most traumatic events of your life. And everybody will have a say on who they think you should invite, on what they feel you should have as food, and how you should spend the money. If they give you parents give you money towards a wedding, they'll all have a say of, well, you could invite so and so that I haven't seen for 20 years and I feel should be invited to the wedding because I gave you a bit of money. Things like that. So yeah, it's going in the way of a bit of tension, but it's not tension that can't be resolved or dealt with. It's sort of a healthy tension, and you know. As I say, just finding your way through each other and through the relationship and the way it's changing. Page of Wands, you're going on a new adventure. You're going on a new adventure, moving forward with passion, energy, warm-heartedness, excitement. I think you're moving into quite an exciting time in terms of this relationship and what's going on with you. And I think it's moving towards happiness. It's the Ten of Cups. It's a happily ever after. It's about the happy family that loves each other and support each other, and you just wishes come true even, and what you desire for one or other of you. I don't know whose desires are going to be fulfilled. Hopefully it's mutual desires, that you mutually both recognise that your relationship's developing into something new. Yeah, I mean, that's a really positive, that's a good start for my first reading in this video. That's a really good start, because this just seems to me to be a couple that have fallen in love and have decided that they're going to be together. That's what I would say is the general vibe of this reading, of this relationship, that it's moving into deeper commitment. I mean, I hope that's ultimately what pans out for you. Let me know in the comment section if that's true. If this is not likely towards the circumstances of your relationship, I think overall, whatever tensions have been going on, whatever's been before, is going to be moved away from, and it's going to provide stability and satisfaction and sort of friendliness in your relationship with that person. So if you've had a fight with your parents, you've had a fight with your friends, and you just don't like, well, what's going on between us now? I don't understand anymore. You're going to make it up. If this is about work in terms of a boss or a colleague, pretty much the same. You're going to move on from it and say, okay, we're going to wipe the slate clean. We're going to have a fresh start, and we're going to see how this goes. And you might, as you say, you might have a bit of tension, a bit of something going on, but ultimately you'll work your way through it by the Page of Wands energy of being positive and willing to go out there and try new things and do new things, and you'll end up rewarded for that hard work. Because any relationship takes hard work and commitment and compromise and communication, and you've got to listen to each other. And if you do all those things, generally relationships can get through most things. So those of you that chose option 1, that is your reading. I hope that it resonated with you. I hope that your relationship goes well, whatever happens in it. Then I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself and your person of interest. If you want to book a private reading with me, all the information you need is in the description box. Just send me an email. And thank you very much for listening to me, and bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 2, this is your reading. So these 3 cards represent what's dominating the relationship at this time if you're watching the video. The current energies, this could be attitudes that one or other or both of you have. It could be what you're doing or what your partner's doing, or that you're both doing, whatever. It's just what's dominating the relationship. So we have the High Priestess, the Four of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. Okay, this isn't good. You're just not talking to each other. You're not communicating. If you are talking to each other, it's communication of no value. It's no substance to this these discussions. We've got the High Priestess. She's a woman of mystery, of secrets, of knowledge, secret knowledge, and she doesn't always share it. It doesn't mean that she's without caring or consideration. She does have a maternal edge to her. She's just not in your face. She's not overt. She's sensual rather than sexy. She smiles at you enigmatically rather than smiles and then tells you everything. It doesn't mean that she doesn't trust you, she doesn't like you, she doesn't even want you. It just means that she's not letting on at the moment everything that's going on. For some people, this is a part of their character. So maybe this is you or your partner. But I feel that actually for most of you, whatever your relationship is, that you're just not communicating with each other. You're keeping things to yourself even. And just, yeah, not letting on, not opening up. keeping secrets, but not nasty, I'm cheating on you secrets. I think this is more you're just withdrawing from each other, or one of you is withdrawing from the other. And not saying everything. This would be more of a sign of a couple that are just drifting apart. That's the best way I can describe it, drifting apart. When we have the Four of Pentacles, which, this is an interesting take on it. It's usually the man clinging onto the Four Pentacles, holding on to two, and he's got his foot on each pentacle. Keeping to yourself, not letting anyone in, not opening up. In some cases being actively stingy, being a bit of a skinflint. That means, sorry, I just thought probably a lot of you don't know what that means. It means being selfish, being somebody that keeps their purse and their wallet closed. But we're talking as well beyond financial. So it might be that they're saying, no, I don't want to go out so-and-so date because they don't want to spend the money either on you or with you. Or it's most likely for some of you is that this is an emphasis of not opening up, about being closed off to communication, to discussion, to knowledge. For some of you, this person won't listen to you. They're like, I'm not interested in listening to what you have to say. I've written you off. And not willing to open up to dialogue, not willing to open up to seeing you. Some of you, they don't want to see you. I feel that actually this might be you, or actually your other partner. This might be, and it doesn't matter about gender or anything, or sexuality, it doesn't matter. That one of you wants to grab the other person and say, come on, talk to me. I demand that we come through this. And they're like, no, I'm in my own world and I don't want to know anything. So I feel that there's really a sort of big fracture, like you've had a big fight and now you're not talking to each other. Then we have the Nine of Swords. It's causing stress, anxiety, that you're not getting any sleep. It's always on your mind. You lie in bed thinking about this relationship and what's gone on, and you feel. I really do feel this is probably from your perspective, that you can't know what you want to know about this person. They're just a mystery to you, either completely or recently, that this is a recent occurrence with somebody that you've known for a while, and you suddenly feel you've been cut off from them and you're not privy to any of their more recent information. They're not updating their social media, or you've been blocked even. And it's winding you up. And if this is somebody that even it's a recent connection or whatever, that they're not opening up to you at all, and you probably really like them and you can't understand why they're not opening up, and you're just like, what's going on between us? As I say, with the High Priestess, there's never any maliciousness with this. It doesn't represent somebody being malicious. It's just somebody that's ticking along nicely in their own world, usually. The Wallflower, the person who's got their nose in a book. So yeah, it's not about being mean, it's just that there's something else going on. So that's not very nice at the moment. What's dominating this relationship, what's dominating the connection between the two of you, is that it's not making you very happy. So let's see, hopefully there's something better here, which is in which direction is this relationship moving? Which way? If this is great, possibly what you're doing is fine. If this is really awful and you think, no, this is really bad, I don't want it to be like that, it's changeable. You can change things. If this isn't what you want, you can take steps to improve it and try and make a better bond with you, improve what's going on in this relationship. So we have Ace of Pentacles. Oh, that's not bad. Eight of Cups. Temperance. Okay, so I do feel that actually overall there will be healing. There's a new opportunity, a new gift of prosperity, you know, a possible new foundation between the two of you, that allows stability, abundance, of heart, mind, soul and wallet, because it's a pentacle, but it's a gift, an opportunity to create something new. But it might involve emotionally leaving something behind. And for some of you, you might feel that resonates is in you, that you emotionally leave behind the relationship, that actually this is just a sign of a relationship coming to a close. You might, you know, this suggests that maybe you could be friends, or that if you're already friends, that it will be a different type of friendship, or like a work connection that you, whatever's gone before, you can move on from. But there is a moving on emotionally. So if this has all been caused by a big fight, you can say, look, I don't want to fight anymore. Let's forget about it. You know, let's agree to disagree. Let's move on. I want to let go of the pain and the hurt and move towards something better. Ignoring the chaos and moving towards something calmer. And you can do that. You can move towards something calmer because we've got the Temperance, so this is healing. So I mean, I do feel that for some of you, if it's really a case that you know the time has come, then you can end the relationship peacefully, whatever that relationship is. And for those of you that are thinking, but I don't want it to be, this just feels like a bit of a fight and I just don't know what's going on between us, you can heal it. With patience, with calm, with mixing up your feelings. This is almost like, say that you're the yellow and your partner is the bluey purple. They're being mixed together. They're being mixed together. And I think that's what a lot of you need to do, is acknowledge their feelings, their thoughts, their desires, their needs, and mix them in with your own. Excuse me, and vice versa, that you both come together and agree the way forward. Whatever that forward is will be dependent on your personal situation. But I do feel that there's a potential here for healing and moving on, either within the relationship, or if you and your partner decide so, out of it. But it will be a good breakup, a calm breakup, where you can still communicate with each other at the end, rather than a big blow up where you want to kill each other and you can't stand to hear their name forevermore. Because I feel what you've got to break through is this not willing to open up, and the secret to this is through the Eight of Cups. By seeing the possibilities in this relationship and the opportunities to be had, and pursuing them and accepting them as a gift. You know, a gift of a new beginning. And if you seize on it and decide to let go of what's gone wrong before, move on from it, you can heal this relationship, this connection, and it'll be better. So those of you that chose option 2, it started off looking pretty dire, but now actually it doesn't look so bad. Now we can see the way it's moving towards. So I think that, you know, there's a good chance that if you both of you are willing to work for it, you'll be fine. However the outcome is, you'll be fine. So that's your reading. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can find all the details in the description box, and you can email me. Otherwise, I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself and your person of interest, and thank you very much for listening to me. Bye. Okay, those of you that chose option 3, this is your reading. So these 3 cards represent what's dominating the relationship at this time. If you're watching the video, it's the actions you take, the thoughts that you think, attitudes of one or other or both of you. You might find that it's really more you because it's your reading, you're the one watching the video. So what's going on between the two of you? 7 of Swords, the 9 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups. Okay, so there's some way, you know, the 7 of Swords is not, something's being kept to to yourselves for your own benefit. It's really for your or their benefit that things are not said. You know, it's not necessarily, you know, it can be like cunning and strategy and all the rest of it, but it's ultimately something's being kept secret, but not for, you know, necessarily for malicious reasons. It's just possibly you are just saying, well, you know, I'm not going to say this now because it'll start a fight or it'll really screw things up. So in one way you're being cunning because it's sort of not letting on everything, otherwise you'll get in trouble or you'll start a big fight or they'll walk away from you and you don't want that, or that you're not ready to say what you want to say, and that could be where the strategy comes in. Some of you could be really thinking, or they could be really thinking, now is not the time, but as things progress I'll see how things go, and then it'll be time for me to say what I need to say. Then we have the Nine of Cups, and I feel things are not being said because of love. I really think it's due to emotional satisfaction. This is why I'm sort of saying it's for your own benefit. I think it might, for some of you, it's born out of love, that they're not saying whatever, like there's an element of a secret. And again, it doesn't have to be through negative motives. It could be, for some of you, they don't want to say, or you don't want to say exactly how you feel. You might feel it's a bit early on in the relationship or something, or whatever, that you don't want to come forward and say, actually, I really like you, you're my dream come true, because this is wishes come true card. It's you know, what's going on in this relationship, that a dream might be coming true in terms of this connection, that it's something that you've been working towards and dreaming of, and so nothing's being said because you don't want to screw it up, scare them off too early, or give them a big ego, big head, because there's something about the past that's dominating this relationship. So for some of you, you might not want to repeat mistakes of the past. So if you're the sort of person that rushes into a relationship and allows it to progress far too quickly, you might be slowing things down because you've screwed it up in the past, like you've moved in together far too soon before you've really got to know each other and allowed the honeymoon period to be over. Or you might have developed deep feelings for someone and then discovered actually further down the line they were not who you thought they were. And so you're sort of keeping it to yourself. Excuse me. Well, they are, because of something connected with the past, your childhood, or a sense of nostalgia. I mean, for some of you, it's about perhaps the past of this relationship. If you've been together for a long time and everything's going well, but you're thinking of the past, and so you're not saying something, you're not coming out with something because of what's happened in the past relationship. Maybe you're frightened of a pattern repeating itself. If you can hear noises in the background, it's my rabbit. So I apologise. Yeah, so yeah, it's something to do with the past, or what's gone on in the past. I feel that's causing this Seven of Swords situation of not really coming out and saying something, because it's weird, because there's a real sort of, oh my god, this is brilliant, this is everything I've wanted. It's about having everything your heart needs, about not worrying, about being satisfied, you know, abundant. So some of you are really feeling immense feelings at this time in regards to this person, which is lovely. So let's see what happens with this not communicating and the past and whatnot, because this is the direction that this relationship is moving towards at this time. It's changeable. So if you feel that you've made a decision just based on me describing these three cards, it probably will be reflected in these three. But if these three cards are not good from your perspective, it is changeable. You can take action to change the outcome of this relationship. But at the moment, now this is the direction it's moving in. The Empress, 9 of Swords, Knight of Wands. Okay, so I do feel there is going to be an opening up in communication. Somebody is going to come out and say what excuse me, I think I'll just have a quick drink. Somebody's going to come out and say what needs to be said. There's Empress, it's a moving towards manifestation and abundance, of growth, of fertility, of, I mean, it's just so gorgeous, that card, look at it. And butterflies, which represent the soul, historically, you know, psyche and all that. Beautiful flowers, beautiful colours, it just, there's going to be a creation of something. The Empress does mean creation. You know, she's usually a pregnant lady. It's the idea that she has received the seed and then she's making a baby with it. There will be something created here, and I feel for some of you the love will continue to flow. It's about maybe this relationship can be created into something new, or just outright created, because I wonder now, looking at this, was, you know, for some of you, you've been together for a while and this is just a temporary situation. You'll be able to move beyond it and create a brilliant relationship. For others of you, I just wonder now whether actually there isn't much going on in this relationship, and you maybe really like this person and don't tell them. Maybe you've loved them for a long time. Some of them I'm seeing now. That might be a possibility. Either way, you've got to come out and say what you feel, because you can't live life saying nothing. It's you shouldn't live your life in fear. You know, yes, there is fear of failure, and for some of you, you might find that failure, I'm afraid. Can't guarantee success. But I think by opening up, and I do feel there's an opening up because we've got the Knight of Wands, that it would do good, even if it's just within you or them, to come out and say, oh, you know, whatever. But I do feel that there will be this connection, what's going on between you will progress into abundance. Even if it's not romantic, actually, it might be a great working relationship, and you don't want to come forward and say, I love this job. I love this job. I've always wanted to do it. I'm, you know, I'm beside myself. This is my dream. Or a friendship, or, you know, siblings, parents, whatever. It doesn't matter. Actually, the same applies. Somebody's not saying something, but there will be. And if this is sort of a parent relationship, it might be the mother, or the one that represents the, you know, maternal in your family. Friend group. But we've got the Nine of Swords. So I think it's going to really involve a lot of sleepless nights, which is why I started to see that some of you, you or the person of interest, has had feelings for a while and not said anything. I think the moment the words are said, the person who says them will be, you know, shitting bricks, basically, excuse the language. What have I done? What have I done? Lying in bed thinking, what have I done? I've ruined a great friendship. We were great friends and I valued that, and now it's over. The person who hears it is probably lying in bed thinking, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened. Oh my God, I can't believe they've said that. What do I do? What do I do? You know, and it doesn't mean that there's not love involved, that they're going to come and say, oh no, bye. I think there's just actually, I do really read this as joint anxiety and overwhelmed with thoughts and thinking about it all the time. There's a chaos of the mind. Chaos of the mind. They can't stop thinking about it, and I suspect you can't stop thinking about it either, and it just, the reasons why are from the whichever end you're at. But then there's a new adventure. There is a new adventure. Somebody's going to heed the call and talk, and then there will be a new adventure, a new journey, a new passion, energy, drive. So if this connection, however it is in your life, loving or friendly or working, there will be some sort of new beginning, new journey. Some of you, you know, the Knight of Wands does represent travel, sort of actually moving, physically going off places. So some of you, you might find that you both travel off in a new direction, and it doesn't mean necessarily physically, as in you literally get on a plane, train or boat or in the car. It just means that you agree to move together in one direction towards the Empress situation. Even if things don't pan out the way that you want, good things will come and something new will be born. So even if it doesn't, you know, manifest exactly as you expected, and most of the time that's true, things very rarely actually turn out exactly the way you expected, something great will come, and I don't think that you'll be disappointed, even if it's just a case of that you love someone and you tell them, and it's just the release of it off your mind, your heart, your soul, you know, just the weight of it off your shoulders will be good. Or if you're the person that's going to be hearing, you'll know, and you'll think, you know, yes or no. You don't have to be with someone you don't want to be with. You don't have to have a friendship with someone you don't want a friendship with, or you don't have to make up with somebody that you feel the relationship's dead. You don't have to. This is where you can say, I've moved on. You know, it's how you want it to manifest. You're not bound to anything or anyone. But actually, I feel that actually through this revelation, it's going to be good, because we've got the Empress, which always to me is good things grow. It's the good crop, the harvest thrives, the weather is perfect, there's just enough rain, the bees come and pollinate everything, and it's just beautiful. So yeah, I think this connection will grow into something beautiful, however it manifests. I like that. I really like that reading. Initially when I saw those three, I thought, oh, but then I've seen these and I'm actually pleased. And don't worry about the Nine of Swords. You know, the Nine of Swords coming up when people are really, you know, mithered about something. It's a way for you to process stuff. Process and come to terms with things and think through every possible computation. You just, you know, however it can be done, you're thinking about it. What happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? And you might get fed up of it, but at some point, once you've gone through all that thinking process, one thought lands on your shoulder and you can progress with it. You sort of make a decision. Sometimes you can't make a choice or a decision or realise the truth of something until you've gone through the Nine of Swords process. So don't be frightened of it, even though you might not get any sleep for a day or two. Right, those of you who chose option 3, I enjoyed that reading, I really did. I hope that it resonates with you and it's helped you and all the rest of it. If you do want to book a private reading with me, you can. All the information you need is in the description box. Otherwise, I wish you all the best of luck for the future. Please take very good care of yourself and your person of interest. And thank you very much for listening to me. Bye.